Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your ninth The Rookie Feds episode review, hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. I know I did. Having a whole week off felt weird because it felt like, oh, am I missing Walker tonight? Am I missing Stargirl? I'm like, oh no, they're on break too. They're on break. I keep forgetting because doing the consecutive almost 5 episode reviews a week kind of got a little straining for me and just a lot of other elements of my life. So I just completely forgot about it. But today we're back. We're back to kind of a normal-ish schedule. Just 2 episode reviews this week for Rookie Feds and Stargirl. Next week we have 5 reviews to do again. Not because we have 5 shows, but because 2 of the 3 shows we're reviewing next week are going to be doing 2 episodes next week. So we're getting double Rookie and double Doom Patrol as we return back to our every Doom Patrol episode review next week, which I'm very excited for. But that means we have a lot more work to do, a lot more ground to cover, and I got a Christmas party to plan that week. So I'm like, I am completely freaking screwed. Will I eventually get everything figured out? Who the heck knows? But today on the Rookie Feds winter finale, it felt a little too... I feel like this is my first time where I was debating... No, don't get me wrong. I think this episode really turned out well. I just felt like some things were kind of you could have pushed this a little longer, or you could have raised up the suspense a little bit more. This was sadly, I think, the first casualty of being involved in the shared universe where, if you aren't aware, when we come back on January 3rd next year, both rookie shows will be on the same night, back to back, Rookie at 8, Rookie Feds at 9, and they're to kick off the new Rookie night. We have a crossover event. We'll see if this is actually a proper crossover event or just one of those 2-parter things. But regardless of how that might turn out, that was sadly that whatever storyline they were going to focus on this episode had to majority wrap up before then, because I don't think they wanted to do a little bit more of a carryover, which is sometimes a little bit of the tricky stuff to do because, yeah, normally with when the Arrowverse did those crossover events back in its heyday, which it feels weird for me to say because it wasn't that long ago, but then again, so much has happened in the last 3-4 years alone that it keeps reminding me that time moves at a very different pace than the rest of the world. But okay, that sounds kind of weird. The point is that I feel like certain aspects of this episode could have been there was definitely more potential. That this could have felt like something you could have expanded on into multiple episodes. Not to say it should be an arc or anything, at least a 2-parter. But then again, it is the way it is, and hopefully we'll probably come back on this thread maybe in the future. But until then, we're left ambiguous, considering the fact that at the end of the episode, I was like, oof, how are you going to get out of that one? And they're like, oh, the crossover's happening. It's like, oh, shit. I don't think we have time. Maybe we will have time. Who the heck knows? Anywho, with that being said, otherwise, this was still a well-done episode. I think this was a really, again, another solidified way to give the idea of, this is a family, and, that they really care about each other, that they don't know what they would do without the other, and definitely, I do imagine them just getting more and more stronger after this episode, and we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie Feds. So we begin with a flashback where we're in Panama. We see a younger Garza, which is only admittedly 5 years younger, but he has more black in his hair. So I'm like, okay, he's a little bit younger. He and his partner at the time, we're assuming, are about to interrogate someone. Well, Garza and 2 other people, one of them, he's kind of having a close, can we kiss or something? Definitely something romantic there, but we'll come back to that later. Garza and his partner at the time heads over to the interrogation room where they are greeted by none other than Zoom himself, Teddy Sears. Oh my God, how many more freaking actors from my past you're gonna bring back on me, Rookie? Come on. David Ramsey, Tom Arnold, now Teddy Sears. Come on, man. You are on a freaking roll. Again, the Rookie universe is being catered to me. This is amazing. This is the best thing I can have. Hopefully we'll get even more crazy casting in the next year, but we'll see how that all turns out. Actually, I think there was supposed to be another one that I think more people were supposed to be aware of. I didn't know, but correct me if I'm wrong, which is Garza's partner. He looks like someone from another TV show that I didn't watch, but I could pretty much guarantee he was probably on a long-running TV show somewhere. So call me out on that if I am on the right margin there. I may be right, maybe. Anywho, they're interrogating Teddy Sears, which has a much more different name, but I'm just going to call him Teddy because why not? He's being suspected to be there. So the whole point of this investigation is that Garza's there to investigate a potential mole that the government has to the Russians. And they're assuming this guy, Teddy Sears, is the guy. But before they can really begin their interrogation session, their headquarters is attacked by armed militia. It's a war zone. It's a battleground. Sadly, Garza's woman, the woman he was about to kiss, about to smooch, another fellow agent, is killed during the battle. However, before we get to see the full side effect of it, we wake up back to present day where Garza is zoned out, remembering of his time in Panama, ready to wrap up another work day. However, before he is about to go home, he gets a call from a mysterious person saying that they have potential new information on the whole Panama case about who the corrupt agent was. However, they have to go all the way to D.C. To check a car. So Garza, with some resource, because again, I guess the FBI doesn't really check for credentials or patterns or anything, but Garza heads over to D.C. pretty quickly, which I'm gonna say this was very much using stock footage. I don't mind, but it was really obvious this is kind of outdated stock footage. I don't know why. It looks more 2010, 2011 style of like film where like it just looks a little grainy. It's not like the full crisp HD that we're used to today, which is kind of weird for me to say, to comment on that, but it was really noticeable in my opinion, at least for me, and I'm not wearing glasses, so anyone with like better eyesight would probably notice better. Garza arrives there. He looks at the car. He's looking around. However, before he can figure out what the heck's going on, he eventually hears sirens, starts putting pieces together, realizes he's being set up. So before he's able to accept his fate, he calls over Simone, letting her know, like, I don't got time, trust the team, here's a code word, you're on your own, thank you, good luck. Garza gets arrested for the charge of espionage. And Garza's like, look, this is what it looks like. And I'm like, oh my God, the amount of times we've heard this line. Even they know, like, yeah, it's a pretty bad spoken line, but it's the truth. But Garza gets arrested. He's going to be sent over back to extradite to LA to speak with the rest of the branch about like what he supposedly has been doing. Simone assembles the rest of the team in her car, acting like a carpool type of thing. Where they're trying to figure out what's going on, and so first things first, they're figuring out why did Garza call Simone first? Like, why not Carter? Why not Laura? And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, is that really the first thing you're gonna care about? Your boss is currently being charged with espionage, and you're wondering why did he call Simone first? I really don't know. Who cares? You gotta focus on getting him out. But regardless of the case might be, their next piece of business is trying to figure out the code words. The first part of the code word, they're assuming is part of accusement that Garza is being falsely accused for something he didn't do. So they know about that front. And the last word, which I swear to God, I was not expecting a That's So Raven references off the wazoo. Now here's the thing about me. I did not watch that much That's So Raven as a kid. I did watch it. I don't think I was oblivious to the show. I was mainly more of a bigger fan of the Superior spinoff, Corey in the House. Shout out to that show. But anyway, they're trying to figure out the code word, but it doesn't really give them too much information. So right now they're just trying to figure out what else they can do. However, they cannot erase suspicion, so they decided to split up. Half of them will go back to headquarters, act like kind of like eyes and ears inside the Ravens' den, while two of the other ones are outside trying to gather any sort of information when they're not inside the confines of the building. So Brandon and Laura volunteer to work on the outside, while Carter and Simone head over back to the HQ, acting like nothing's going on, like nothing's happening. Elena, who's already in there, is obviously more worried than ever, and considering the fact that she is a family member of Garza, definitely the feds want to try and get her hands on him, try to get their hands on her, but she apparently, throughout the entire episode, was never caught. Like, she literally she's like Batman. Like, she just escapes. Like, she never gets seen, never gets caught, and it's like, okay, Elena, maybe you should just be a cat burglar at some point. Okay, I'm done with the Batman references. Moving on. I want to say, yeah, so Garza's back on the plane. He's about to be taken over, and when Simone and Carter enter the building, they immediately get pulled over by agents, where they start their interrogation process, and this is kind of where we start to begin the origins of the whole story. Where all the major agencies were looking at a very big mole, a very big leaker that was happening. It was within their own government. They're trying to find out who. However, the investigation wasn't really making the progress that they were going to. So Garza was sent over to Panama to assist in the matter and expedite the case as much as he can, which at first was very little to no progress since there were just nothing really to work on. Garza did not stay in Panama, but he did frequently visit there, eventually building a little bit of a commodity with his partner. I don't think they were partners, just like forceful partners, and the other woman who Garza did have a short-term relationship with, both romantically and sexually. So we need to express that. Yeah, we even got a flashback where Garza was clearly making the moves on her. They were about to sleep together, which I'm like, you know what, Garza? I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you giving Latinos a little bit of like a mid-age, a little. I feel like I'm middle-aged. I'm like, I'm not middle-aged at all. I'm barely 25, but I'm still saying, like, it gives us faith. It gives us faith that we can still get some good. I'm losing my train of thought here. I should get back on track, but. Anyway, even Simone decides to trick Tracy for a little bit, even revealing her everything that Garza told her, which wasn't really that much, but she was able to get a little bit of information about the whole Panama case, where one of the big mysteries that the whole government wanted to know was that what happened to this woman, what really happened. Of course, Garza has his version of events, but of course that's kind of been scrubbed over, so they don't admit to any sort of like weakness or any failures of sorts. I want to say afterwards, yeah, so Brendan and Laura decide to set up shop in Mid-Worcestershire Station, which I'm swear to God, like, they're just way too friendly to this team. Like, even Smithy's like, oh, first of all, Smithy just gives them like a random interrogation room that, okay, we are going to have no real usage out of this room today, so you can go use it for your personal office, which I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's more legal hoops than that for, like, that to happen, especially since, like, they're currently wanted for questioning, which again, this would have felt like something like, if this was like a 2-part or anything, like this definitely would have taken a little bit more precedence as like, oh, they should not be assisting them considering the fact that they're not guilty, but they're not, fully innocent. If that makes sense. Anywho, I want to say, yeah, so they also are aware that there is a mysterious guest that's in their building that is providing them information that would allow would put Garza fully into prison if his testimony was agreed upon, and they eventually do find out it is in fact Teddy Sears. So he is there to give his testimony, saying that Garza was the mole all along, that he was the confidant, and that his testimony would not only give him access back to the States, but it would also allow him to basically get away with the scot-free. And right now, Tracy doesn't really have much of an option since, it's a pretty big accusation. There is some very, like, sadly misread information. So they kind of have no choice but to trust his word on it. So they're really on a time clock because the moment Garza arrives back into LA, he's getting fully arrested and he will not be getting out of there. So they're under a time crunch right there. So thinking that they have to explore that angle of it, they assume that Garza's ex-partner is the one who probably leaked the information. So actually, this is the all-time where, like, eventually Brendan and Laura get in touch with that first. So Laura gets in touch with her her ex-partner, kind of love her, still best friend, whatever you want to call them. And where was I going to go with that? So she manages to get him to get them a warrant so they can search his place, because they just assume, like, oh, he's no longer an official agent, so he doesn't have any more protection, so we can go in after him. They do get a very specific warrant, which they managed to go in. They start looking, but of course they figure out that no, it wasn't him. It was actually the other dude who is giving the information to the feds. So once they have all that, they realize, well, the only next big piece of information that we do greatly need is a secret compartment that's located hidden under Garza's desk, which might contain the clues that they need. So eventually the whole reason why they did that, so Raven reference, was that there was an episode in the show, which I'm actually pretty honest, like, they actually really committed to the fact that they actually went through the episodes. I'm pretty sure it was just probably one of the writers, like, oh, this would be a fun way to tie in it, which I'm like, again, it's ABC, it's Disney, it's all the same thing, so it's perfectly fine. Okay, anyway, so because Elaine is still avoiding capture, it's up to Simone and Carter to get in and break in. So Simone does her very much of a failure of an act, but somehow, again, this is my one problem with the episode. These Fed agents are trained to the teeth in Quantico. Yet a guard was visually confused for an innocent woman who's also within the same rank, who also received the same training as him, to go like, oh, I don't know how to use a copy machine. Can you help me on it? I'm like, dude, this guy's just clearly trying to get something. I know this is not about Simone, but come on, dude, come on. This is literally stupidity 101 here. Even the other woman who comes to relieve him is like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, you just gave away your post. Like, okay, not trying to be a nice guy or anything, but like, you gave away your post. You were supposed to stand guard here regardless of what the situation was. Carter's managed to get the files. However, he gets stuck under there for a little bit. Simone manages to create a diversion, i.e. creating a fire in a Fed building, which I'm like, again, that would raise cause for concern, but like, again, we only have 44 minutes, but like, okay, we gotta speed this along a little bit. So, they get Carter out. The files gives us more answers to the whole Panama case that, like, yeah, Garza was investigating someone, but he didn't have the substantial evidence that, even though he had a reasonable doubt that it could be him, that he just didn't have the final evidence to, like, give it an ironclad case. So he decided to, like, you know, slowly pursue it. And I guess right now there was probably like a break in the case. This is where everything comes in, and then, you know, eventually they have to figure out what the hell's going on. So they all regroup again outside of a parking lot, and they call over one of the pilots, who I initially thought for a second that this was the original backdoor pilot character that was in the rookie episode last year. That's what I originally thought. Like, the hairstyles were kind of similar for me, and again, it's been such a long time since that backdoor pilot, so I thought that was her for a second, but no, when I looked up online, no, it's two completely different characters, two different names, which I'm probably like, oh, why are you mentioning so many references to, like, Garza's? Like, were you working together at some point? Like, was that the original character? Like, no, it wasn't it. But she manages to get convinced by Simone to get a phone call into Garza, so they manage to sneak through her in, and again, I swear to God, any rookie fan just says, like, oh, this is the same plane from the Chenford stuff. I'm like, no, shut up. This is not the show. We're not doing that here. This ain't the place for that. Garza goes in, manages to talk to them, including the original partner for him, clarifying, like, yeah, it is just Teddy Sears. He's the one doing it, so, like, there has to be a much more bigger connection above it. So once they're cross-referencing it, they figure out that, actually, not yet, we don't get that revelation yet. Also, Garza's speaking way too loud. Like, he is an expert in this field. He is not supposed to be on this phone call, yet he's speaking a little bit louder than usual, which his handler does notice, and is about to shoot him, about to put him down, and about to call the rest of the cavalry to go arrest the rest of the team. But, like, Garza's like, nope, listen for a second, we do have some reasonable doubt that Teddy Sears' testimony is falsified. And eventually they discovered that it was probably one of these politicians, former agent or politician, I'm not really sure what it was. Yeah, I forgot what it was, but anyway, so they made the determination it's him. He's the one who was the original mole. And that, you know, there should be enough, at least, goodwill for Garza in there for his service to, like, at least give him a chance, at least explore this option, which they grant. So once Garza rides back in LA, he and Tracy team up against him, revealing that, yes, Teddy Sears was part of it, and that he did have valuable information about the whole matter. Of course, obviously, once everything went backfired during that day in Panama, he was stuck in there for 5 years, and he wanted to get back home, so he begged with him to, like, you know, what could we do to, like, get me back home regardless of the cost? And the guy's like, well, we could just pin the blame on someone else, and once that he just dies off, and you have no reason to, like, you know, for them to be suspicious of you, so yeah, so go blame Garza. So that was their plan. For Garza to be fully blamed for the actions in Panama, that he was the mole. However, Teddy Sears gets a better deal that somehow, it's all convenience sake for convenience sake. He just willingly gave up everything so easily, which I'm like, hey, when push comes to shove, that happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but just considering the severity of this case, it's like, okay, I was expecting a little bit more resistance, but regardless of that, it is what it is. So they managed to get enough with his testimony to go get the guy over, so they go arrest him, and, you know, he's the still cocky, you know, powerful type, like, I got friends in powerful places, like, this will not hold forever. And Garza's like, nah, I don't believe so. I think this is it for you. Whenever people say that lines in the rookie, I'm inclined to believe they will come back. Whether or not that is the case, we don't know yet, but we'll find out eventually. So they arrest him, clearing Garza, and everything's fine in that matter, that it's all said and done. Everything's well and good. Tracy and the other handler give the Garza the okay that, yeah, he's cleared, the team's cleared, and then they're ready to go. And Tracy just acknowledges that, yeah, this team likes you a lot. Like, they really care about you. It's sickening, but it's respectful. So Garza gives the heads up to them that they're on the clear. It's over. That this entire matter is over. We do get to see the rest of the flashback where, yeah, Garza tried. They were about to leave, but he didn't want to, like, let her go, and then, you know, he dragged her body with her, knowing that he didn't want her to die in a place like that, which I'm like, that is respectful of him. Even though they were still trying to debate, like, why did you call Simone first and not any of us? And she's like, she was my most recent call. There you go. And they're like, okay, that's believable. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah. So before they wrap it up, Laura gives a thank you call to her fellow ally in DC, her former partner. That thank you for the nice work. You saved Garza's life today, and he's already pitching like, you know what, next, I'm still in town for like the day. So it's like, if you want to, meet up before I go, like, we can have some heat. And I'm just like, bro, you are one corny ass bastard. No offense. He says like, hey, when you're back here in LA, if you're coming back up east for the holidays, we could probably, spare some time together, once your holiday arrangements are done. And she's like, you know what, why don't we skip the family stuff? We just have straight, canoe, which I'm like, Laura, you are a rebel one. I'll say that much. Like, damn. And even like one of the the analogies she makes, which I'm like, you're gonna love how I do the countdown. Which I'm like, brah. I don't know what to say. I have no comment on that line. Anywho, when afterwards, Garza and Simone get into the elevator, where Simone truly asks him, "Okay, we're alone. Like, what's up? Like, why me?" And he's like, well, yeah, when you first came to the agency as a full member, I classified you as a torpedo. Today, I needed a torpedo to help get me out of this, and it worked. It was a calculated risk that paid off, which I'm like, yeah, Garza knows exactly what he needs, and yeah, Simone is definitely the wild card, and this was the one time where like he played that card and it paid off. So like that was great for them to see. Yeah, so I think the last thing we get was Garza heads over to the cemetery to go visit her grave. Indicated like this apparently takes place in 2022, which I'm like, well, that creates a whole bunch can of worms, because the problem is that the rookie side of things takes place in a different timeline. I thought it was 2021, which I'm like, okay, you know what? This is all confusing. It's official. COVID does not exist in the rookie universe. Okay, we're done with that. We're moving on. That's when the flashback, the last part of the flashback I mentioned before, gets played in Garza's head. However, before Garza's able to leave after dropping the flowers, he drops on the floor, collapsing from another heart attack. However, with no one around and, with no one like noticing where he is, this is probably this is a bad sign for Garza. But that's where we end the winter portion of the Rookie Feds with Garza on the ground. Having a heart attack. Will he survive? We'll find out eventually. But that was it for this week's episode of the Rookie Feds. So for me, yeah, I definitely felt like this episode could have benefited. It could have definitely been one of those like great storylines where like this would have been a full, heavy Garza backstory episodes where we would have gotten to see more of his character, more of him being like a solo act. Because yeah, him being like the grumpy but still resourceful team leader he is. Yeah, it's great. It's still a great character trait to have. And his bond with Elena does make him more like sympathetic, especially like for me, like it's what I want more out of Gray back in the main rookie. We're like, yeah, Gray is amazing. Like we got some good story arcs out of him, but that's all present day stuff. I would love to see more like physical past stuff, if that makes sense. But will we get that? We don't know. But seeing that for Garza was a great thing to see. It just felt like this could have been more. This could have definitely been. We could have gotten more out of this. We could have definitely like seen Garza be arrested for a little bit, like end the winter finale with Garza in jail, in prison, for a bit while the rest of the obviously, of course. When you have a crossover, when you have other aspects to juggle, it makes things difficult to like, okay, we had to cut this short. Like again, it would have definitely had not been so extra. Maybe you could have done another half episode worth of content. But at least for me, at the end of the day, it's still whatever the episode we did still get at the end was still very much really good. I still enjoyed it. It just felt like I wanted more. And that's a good thing, like, that I want more. That I want to see more of this story. I want to see more of this episode, of this, story beat we're doing. I want to see more of that. But it definitely succeeded in the front of, like, we got to know a little bit more about Garza as a character. We did definitely get to see, again, just how much this team really cares about each other and how much they're close are with each other, even doing this just for 4 months. This is just being more and more solidified that, this is the team to beat, that they cannot be beaten, and that's great to see. But yeah, Garza having a heart attack. What the heck's going to happen next? I don't know. The promo for the next episode, which is the crossover episode, it definitely does not help things out, and also kind of spoils next week's rookie episode because it's supposed to be, Nolan's in danger again, and it's like, Nolan get out of it, spoil it, he gets out of it. So I'm like, okay, that kind of hurts the it kind of hurts the stakes of next week's episode, which again, it's not. It's. Will Nolan die? Is Nathan Fillion really going to go? Absolutely not. He's the main star. He's the main lord. There's absolutely no way they're going to kill him off. So, be that as it may, this episode of Rookie Feds, I'm going to give this episode 1 3/4 stars up. I still really enjoyed it. It's just was missing that little bit of like extraness that I really wanted. But regardless of that, still a great episode. Great way to end off the 2022 portion of the Rookie Feds. And that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this week's episode of the Rookie Feds? Let's have a conversation down below. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the hopeful first season of the Rookie Feds. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the Two, besides our Rookie Feds episode reviews, we are currently doing DC Stargirl episode reviews each and every week at the brand new episodes on the CW. We'll be back next week also with the rookie episode reviews on ABC, and also starting up next week, our Doom Patrol episode reviews are back. Season 4, baby, season number 4, starting up next week after brand new episodes on HBO Max, so go check them out there. But if you don't care about the Rookie Feds, we will be going on our permanent winter break. We will return on January 5th. Well, the show returns on January 3rd. So we will come back with our review on January 5th. Since the Rookie and the Rookie Feds are going to be sharing the same time slot, the Rookie will be moving to Wednesday, the Wednesday morning block, while the Rookie Feds gets moved over to the Thursday morning block. So you'll have one extra day to watch the Rookie Feds episode. So we will be a day late with those reviews, but again, it's just for the magnitude of just, how sometimes, yeah, the programming synergy works. It just does not work for me in terms of like making these reviews. So we have to cover what we can. But again, we will be back next year with more episode reviews, so stay tuned until then. But again, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, if you are a Rookie fan, I'll see y'all next week for the Rookies winter finale, so can't wait for that. But if you're, for some reason, only a Feds fan, I'll see y'all next year. But again, this is What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for the notification when our next episode review is live. Please also like, favorite, share this review if you want to. Please also ring the bell. Follow us on social media to stay up to date for any sort of updates we may have for either of our channels. But until we see each other again, for all you Feds out there, I'll see y'all in 2023 for brand new episode reviews. But until then, enjoy your holidays, enjoy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, and of course, enjoy your New Year's festivities. Ring in the New Year's well. Go binge the Rookie Feds again. Watch our reviews again. It's going to be a whole month with no Feds, and I really got accustomed to this team. I really did, and I'm really happy about it. But until we see each other again next year, everyone, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.